أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وآله الطاهرين Respected scholars, elders, brothers and sisters and youngsters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We reminded ourselves about the sanctity of the holy month of Ramadan and the great merit of fasting in this holy month. But fasting should not only be from the 9 physical acts which invalidate fasting according to fiqh, but based on the guidance of the Imams of the Ahlul Bayt, inspired by the teachings of the Prophet, based on the Quran. Fasting beyond the physical acts also includes abstinence from anything which displeases God, be it from our eyes or ears or hands or limbs or tongue, or even vices of the heart, be it jealousy, be it enmity, or even of the mind, any negative or unacceptable belief. And then we saw that the holy month of Ramadan was designated to be the month of fasting because of its spirituality due to the revelation of the Quran. And therefore we need to learn how to recite the Quran in an engaging way, active way, interactive way, and to reform ourselves and transform ourselves. And we considered a few examples of the prophets, Nuh alayhi salam and Hud and Salih and Ibrahim. Regarding Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, there are many verses in the Quran, and almost 69 times he is mentioned in the Quran. That's a high frequency, and 25 different surahs, and a whole surah Ibrahim is mentioned by his name. So we saw how Ibrahim alayhi salam is introduced as the leader of the movement for Tawheed in this whole Middle Eastern region, from Babylon and Iraq to Sham and Palestine, and then ultimately Arabia. And we also considered the intellectual arguments that he presented against shirk to prove Tawheed when he was facing Nimrod, who claimed to be the human being, the God on the earth. If your God can create and take away life, I can also give and take away life. So he presented himself as the human God on the earth. Ibrahim alayhi salam also had intellectual arguments with his foster father or his uncle Azar, and also with the whole community of idol worshippers, till finally a court case was prosecuted against him inside the temple. But Ibrahim alayhi salam also has other intellectual discussions which are mentioned in the Quran, which incidentally are also being used today in theology, in philosophy, for proving the existence of God. So in Surah Mubarakiyah An-Na'am, chapter 6, ayah number 75 onwards, is the discussion about Ibrahim alayhi salam arguing against sun worshipping or moon worshipping or star worshipping. So in Babylon, it seems this worship of celestial bodies or astral bodies was quite prevalent, and Ibrahim alayhi salam confronts it and engages with it in an intellectual way. So just to give you an idea, in Babylon, in ancient Babylon, the classic development of star worship took place. and stars were considered as gods, animate beings of some divine supernatural position. So they were worshipped as part of the cosmos, whereby the stars had an influence on human lives, on human communities, on shaping the destiny of human life. Ibrahim alayhi salam is presented here to be arguing against star worship. So ayah number 76 says, فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلِ, when the night fell and it was all dark, there was no artificial city light. Right now you go and look for the stars or even the new moon is difficult because of so much night light, artificial. At that time it was minimum light pollution. So he looked at the night sky. Ra'a kawkaban. He saw many stars, but there was this one bright star. They say it was Venus. So obviously the star worshippers considered this particular star to be influential on their lives. Ibrahim alayhi salam says, قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. This is my Lord, my controller, my governor, my influencer, the one who influences my life. So this is the translation of this phrase. Samahani. You think Ibrahim alayhi salam was a mushrik? He's saying, this is my Lord? Look at how you're going to recite the Quran. You can change the meaning. I quoted one example whereby in Surah Tawbah you can recite an ayah in such a way that the Holy Prophet becomes kafir, depending on one Dhamma and Kasra. Here also is the tone. It's not the Fatha, Kasra, Dhamma. It's the tone. I'm going to recite it in two different ways and see how the meaning changes. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. That's one tone. Now I'm going to recite it in another tone. فَلَمَّا جَنَّ عَلَيْهِ اللَّيْلُ رَأَى كَوْكَبًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. Where? Unasoma Quran and you can ascribe kufr and shirk to a muwahhid, the teacher of Tawheed in the whole of the Middle Eastern region. Unless you say, no, I am not ascribing shirk when he says, Hada Rabbi. Maybe he was surrounded by star worshippers. And he wanted to show them, so if I was one like you, so you are saying he's my Lord. Okay, suppose, so there's a hidden bracket word in the bracket here. Suppose I also say, Hada Rabbi. If this is what you mean, sawa. Otherwise, it's shirk being ascribed to the Prophet. So this is my Lord. Really? Alright, so let me look for the signs of his lordship. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ. But the star then set after a few hours. The star rises and the star sets. قَالَ لَا أُحِبُّ الْآفِلِينَ. I don't like those entities which set and disappear. He can't be my Lord. Same argument, he then uses it the next time for the moon. There were moon worshippers also. The adoration and the veneration of the moon as a god and being considered sacred was there in different cultures. The Hindus, for example, consider Chandra, Chandra, because the moon has effect in the night, gives you brightness. The moon affects vegetation and plants. Not only the Hindu civilization, other civilizations also venerated the moon. The Shinto, the Chinese, the Voodoo, and nowadays the modern forms of European pagans. Oh, Surah Ibrahim and Prophet Ibrahim is about a few thousand years old. No, we have modern pagans also. And traditional religions of Native America or Africa. Did you know in Africa also there is a community, Liza, in West Africa, they believe the moon is the god. So it's prevalent even today. Ibrahim alayhi salam now addresses the moon. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرِ, the moon was bright and shining. بَازِغًا, and it now appeared in its full spectacular brightness. قَالَ, looking at others, هَذَا رَبِّي, assuming that this is my Lord. Or no, nobody is there. Or even if others are there. هَذَا رَبِّي, can this be ever my Lord? Let me see. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَا, and when the moon set, قال لئن لم يهدني ربي لأكونن من القوم الضالين. If my true Lord, this can't be a Lord, disappearing. Where are you? Hello, I need you. Hello, the doctor just said, he tried to put a splinter and rice, but ultimately call your doctor. Hello, doctor. Sorry, he's disappeared. Rabbi, where are you, my true Lord? If my true Lord does not guide me, I'm a bit confused. Look at these people, they're all worshipping the moon. A disappearing, setting moon. And finally, he addresses the sun worshippers. Again, even different cultures had sun worshipping. The Incas in Peru, South America, the Nabateans in the Middle East, in the city of Petra in Jordan, Shintos in Japan, Liza, West Africa, they were sun worshippers. Egyptians, they believed in the sun as God because they thought it's the sun that influences the seasons, which makes the plants and the animals thrive. The sun has to be venerated and worshipped. Sun is the giver of life and heat and energy. Sun controls the ripening of our crops. We depend on our crops. Ibrahim alayhi salam, فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً, and then during the daytime when he saw the full sun rise, قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي, can this be my Lord? Well, let's see. Oh, incidentally, هَذَا أَكْبَرُ, this is much bigger than all the other celestial bodies. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَتْ, and when the sun set, قال يا قوم إني بريء مما تشركون. I do tabarri, I do bara'at. I don't accept the shirk that you associate with the true Lord. A true Lord cannot set and disappear and therefore not have direct control and governance over the creation. Our theologians and philosophers have used this argument. Right now, if you go and study in theology, what is the proof of the existence of God? They will tell you, well, there is the cosmological argument that everything that has a beginning must have an entity who is ever living, who should bring this newly forming creation into being. So if this universe is expanding and in the past it was all a big cosmic egg, and then the Big Bang explosion took place, there must be some power that initiated the cosmic egg and that brought about the Big Bang. Or they use the argument of contingency. Any entity which is dependent must be created by an independent, self-existent being. Or anything which is moving and which is not self-moving has to have a mover. Every mover has to originate from a self-moving, unmoved entity. The argument of the primal mover. So different arguments have been developed by the theologians and philosophers based on this of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Lakini, there's a fourth interpretation, which says that no, Ibrahim alayhi salam doesn't tell the star worshipper and the sun worshipper and the moon worshipper, oh, this body has set, therefore I don't accept. He doesn't say la aqbalul afilin. He says la uhib. Misimpendi. Oh, so you go to class in the school, the teacher teaches you 2 plus 2 is 4. Wow, kasema, misipendi 4, mina penda 5. Allah. Reality is going to be determined by upendo wako. You like something, you dislike something, and therefore that's true and that's false. What do you mean Ibrahim's argument is La uhibbul afilin? I don't like those that with set. The argument is that God has created human beings in such a way that they love truth. Whenever you see something false, by nature, if it is not corrupted, if your inborn God-given nature is not contaminated, then you will accept the truth when you see it. Ibrahim alayhi salam says, I'm naturally attracted to that being who is the absolute truth. An entity which is moving needs a mover. An entity which is moving, the sun rises and sets, the moon rises and sets, and the stars also do the same. That means they are being governed by a law. The gravity controls them. They're not the absolute power. I love that which is the entity which is, I love that entity which is self-living, which is self-sustaining, which is self-existing. And therefore, Ibrahim alayhi salam concludes his argument by saying that وجهت وجهي للذي فطر السماوات والأرض حنيفا وما أنا من المشركين. Conclusion, I turn my face in full devotion, submission, love, adoration, admiration to the one who is not the creator, فاطر السماوات والأرض. He is the one who created and originated from nothing, everything. فاطر, who has created a fitra. Oh, incidentally, fitra is derived from the iftar we do. What does iftar mean? Iftar means to break. To split my fast, iftar. Or Eid al-Fitr, the day when you break your fast. Or Zakat al-Fitra, to break, to split, to cleave. Ibrahim says that I believe in that one who penetrates, who splits my heart and penetrates into every corner of my heart and plants his love in my heart. That's the one I believe in. He's created me and every other human being. فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها لا تبديل لخلق الله. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, having laid the foundation of this intellectual thinking and connecting to God through the intellect, no, connecting to God through the heart, through love. Allah then puts him on test. So Ibrahim, you are claiming you love God. Let us examine you and assess you in the veracity and the truthfulness of your love. Are you ready to face the fire? Are you ready to face and challenge all shirk representatives, be it the man god Nimrud, be it the idols, be it your uncle, your closest relative? Are you ready to challenge them for the love of God? Ibrahim alayhi salam, are you ready if necessary to face the fire? Ibrahim, are you ready to leave your hometown and migrate? Inni muhajirun ila rabbi sayahdeen. Finally, when he is saved from the fire, he says, I'm making hijrah from a community who are not supportive of my faith. They are forcing me. They are ready to kill me if I don't accept shirk. I can't live in this community. I have to migrate. Ibrahim, are you ready for the love of God to migrate away from a comfortable environment, your hometown, to a totally different strange land? Ibrahim, if you love God, I'm going to test you even when you settle in Palestine and Sham and you have a family, and then I will separate you from your first wife and I'll take you to Arabia, a dry, arid desert. Nothing. It's zero, empty. You have to build a new city. Ibrahim, are you ready to face that? And then when your son grows up, Ismail, I will test you, your beloved son, precious son. I will ask you to slaughter him for me. The foundation of Hajj was laid down in Ibrahim's life. Hajj is a beautiful example. If I were to summarize every experience Ibrahim had in the path of Tawheed, it's epitomized and personified in the process of Hajj. We may not have had the chance to go to the people of Ad and see their ruins in the south of Arabia, or to go towards the north in Sham and see the ruins of Thamud or elsewhere. So we couldn't have gone to see how the prophets acted in their community. But Allah brought all the prophets to one place in the Hajj. And then Allah asks us, you want to live the experience of all the prophets? Come for Hajj. All the prophets, from Adam alayhi salam till the last, they all came for Hajj. They're all made to come for Hajj. And come in Hajj and live and speak and dress and behave and do and don't do and interact with everybody else and worship God and remember God every step the way all the messengers did, led by Ibrahim alayhi salam, as a show of his love for God. The story of our life is a story of who do we love? Who are we ready to sacrifice for whom? Who are we ready to give priority to whom? To what? Against who? That's the story of our life. هَلِ الدِّينُ إِلَّا الْحُبِّ. Deen ultimately is just love. How do I practice the right love? Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. Allah then chose Ibrahim alayhi salam to become his close friend, his beloved. And therefore, let me very quickly remind ourselves the pinnacle and the peak of the love test given to Ibrahim alayhi salam is in the sacrifice of the son. And this is described in detail in Surah Mubarakah, Safat, chapter 37, verse number 99 onwards. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi habli min as-salihin. O Allah, now that I've sacrificed for you and left Babylon and even left Palestine and come to Arabia, grant me a progeny who are righteous and pious people. فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ. So we gave him the good news through angels that we shall, in your old age, we shall grant you a son who is virtuous and forbearing. He will face all challenges submissively. We'll give you that type of son. Dua of parents is important. What type of progeny do you want? And Allah will grant depending on the sincerity of the dua. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ. When Ismail began to do sa'i. Sa'i is to be able to run, to walk, to move, to make efforts. He was old enough now, mature enough, baligh, to move around with his father and help his father. Ready now to become a partner, to be tested by God. Who loves who more? فلما بلغ معه السعي قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك. My son, you're old enough, not only physically you have grown, mentally also you have grown, and spiritually you're a God worshipper. I have a task to perform. I saw a dream. رأيت في المنام. أرى في المنام. Again and again and again. I get these dreams. And I see that I am slaughtering you. I as a prophet have absolutely no doubt. Shaitan is not the one planting those dreams in my mind. Oh, incidentally, dreams can be influenced by shaitan. Dreams can also be dependent on the type of iftar and sehri you have. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was Khalilullah. One of the meanings of Khalilullah is he loved to feed others, not to feed himself. It's mustahab in iftar to invite others. Khalilullah. Ibrahim had no doubt that this dream is a message from God. Shaitan could never ever have influence. I fought against the biggest shaitans of my time. The man God on the earth, Nimrud, I fought against him. My uncle, unfortunately, he was the advisor and the courtier and supporter of Nimrud. I opposed him. The whole community of shirk, I opposed them. Shaitan can't influence me. This dream is true. I have no doubt. But it doesn't concern me, it concerns you, Ismail. You are a mature boy. My relationship as a father and son is that now you're at an age where I have to discuss with you, make you understand, and then I want to see your response. How will you cooperate or oppose me on this godly task? فَانظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَى. I'm not going to dictate on you. قَالَ يَا أَبَتِي. My dear father, I respect you, I love you, I honor you and I venerate you. إِفْعَلْ مَا تُؤْمَرْ. Whatever you have been asked to carry out by God, carry it out. سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهِ مِنَ الصَّابِرِينَ. There are many people who make sabr on the difficult decisions in life. I'm one of them. And in our family we have people who will have to make sabr. Me, you and mother. All of us will have to make sabr on this important. If God is the one who gave you life and me life, God is the one who brought me up every moment with His blessings and favors, definitely God is loving. If He has asked us to do this, there is a loving reward for this. I'm ready to accept it. But it's difficult. I'll face the difficulties. And next, فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا. Both of them now have submitted to God's test. وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. He put his son down on the ground, stretched his neck, prepared the knife to slaughter. Slaughters, nothing happens. Turns the son, slaughters, nothing happens. Then a voice comes and says, وَنَادَيْنَاهُ أَيَّا إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Ibrahim, it was a test. You completed the test. The test was you are about to slaughter, and you're doing that. You have done it. You have passed the test. قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا. You have carried out the test. إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. You're a good doer, virtuous, pious, righteous person. You have proven your worth. You have passed the test. The biggest goodness in you is that you are submissive. The biggest goodness in you is you are humble. The biggest goodness in you train a good son. The biggest goodness in you were very respectful of your son. You didn't force him. The biggest goodness in you was that you stood with Tawheed and opposed shirk. This is how we reward the good doers. Hajj is a practical living step-by-step experience of how to be a muwahhid and muhsinin. Allah doesn't say كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِيكَ وَإِبْنَكَ وَزَوْجَتَكَ. Muhsinin. Whoever follow your example, will reward them. Let them come and do tawheed. Let them fight against shirk. We'll reward them. So Hajj now becomes a practical living experience of tawheed to fight against shirk at every step. So notice how step by step Ibrahim alayhi salam is made to undergo the Hajj. I will come back to this story of Ibrahim and Ismail in the context of Hajj. So we start with the Ihram. Interestingly, if you want to find out the spiritual secrets of any of these ibadat, look at the mustahab du'as that you have to recite. They give you an insight into what could be the spirituality behind. When we go for ihram for Hajj, ihram literally means that, oh Lord, I am now detaching myself. Everything that was halal for me. Dress was halal, I'm being told now wear unstitched dress. Everything which was halal for me, contact with the spouse. For your sake, I'm going to refrain. Hunting, otherwise allowed. In the state of ihram, no. Perfume usage, no. So, fundamental, almost 25 restrictions in the state of ihram, all made temporarily haram for the sake of Allah. When we say, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, it is ahrama laka sha'ri. Oh Allah, not only I'm doing ihram from 25 items, but also my skin, my flesh, my bones, my brain, my nerves. All of them are doing labbaik to you. My totality of the being, I want to become like Ibrahim. You promised him, كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I want that higher level of iman. A lower level of iman, I had it at home. I want to get that higher level of iman. Oh Lord, I'm going into ihram. But interesting is that ghusl that is done before ihram is mustahab, not wajib. One mujtahid says it is wajib, but I heard recently he has changed his fatwa. He's back into mustahab. Ghusl is not wajib. Ghusl is mustahab of ihram. But it's the dua which gives us an insight on the significance of this, all these rituals. Oh Allah, purify me. طيب ما طهر مني وطهر ما طاب مني. أبدلني شعرا طاهرا لا يعصيك. Oh Allah, I'm shaving the excess hair right now. Kwanini. Kwa sababu, between now entering into ihram, till the time I complete the Hajj rituals of entering Masjidul Haram and Tawaf and Salatul Tawaf and Sa'i, and then Taqsir, by that time some hair would have grown. Lakini, that hair is different from this hair that I've just shaved here before ihram. That hair will be pure hair, obedient hair, submissive hair, reflective hair, contemplative hair. I'll be a new person because of ihram. How so? وَجَعَلْنِي مِمَّنْ يَلْقَاكَ عَلَى الْحَنِيفِيَّةِ السَّمْحَةِ السَّهْلَةِ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلِكَ. Because I followed the path of your Khalil, Ibrahim alayhi salam. And then when we come to Tawaf, in the state of ihram, in Tawaf, we move around that house of Tawheed, cleansed from all idols by the great idol smasher. And therefore I want to follow the step by step the path of Tawheed of Ibrahim. Incidentally, I can't enter Masjidul Haram. There's a dua to be recited. Oh Allah, I stand here at the gate of your great mosque, and my greetings on all the messengers, the last messenger, but before the last messenger, on Ibrahim alayhi salam. He's the one who rebuilt this Kaaba. I enter this holy sacred mosque, and I want to get closer to you in the state of tahara and purity of mind, purity of character, purity of lifestyle, the way Ibrahim alayhi salam did. And then after tawaf, we go to Salatul Tawaf. Masjid al-Haram is huge. Can I pray Salatul Tawaf anywhere? No. You must pray behind an imam, and that imam is Maqam Ibrahim. Ajib. Salatul Tawaf is batil if you pray it anywhere other than behind Maqam Ibrahim. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. The place of your salah is Maqam Ibrahim. Maqam Ibrahim should be in front, your imam. You should pray behind. My whole lifestyle should be following Ibrahim alayhi salam. And having completed that, then I go to Zamzam. Mustahab, not wajib. Zamzam is a miracle. It is said it's a living miracle till today. What started flowing that time is today feeding. Sitting in Medina, you will receive bottles of Zamzam. Millions are being fed till today. From where? I go to that miracle of Zamzam. Oh, incidentally, Dr. Saab is saying about treatment and rice. In the hadith, it says when you drink Zamzam, you should pray. It is shifa lima shuriba lah. Depends on your niyyah. What do you want this water to give you shifa for? Drugs are effective because Allah is giving that efficacy. Water can also become efficacious. For the purpose that I pray to God, God has given me that honor. My servant, you are my guest. My hospitality is your dua will be answered. Go for sa'i between Safa and Marwa. The way Ibrahim and his wife struggled to save the life of an innocent child. And Allah loved that struggle. And I want you 7 times also to undertake in your life. Struggle for the sake of God, and God will send a miracle in your life to answer your prayers. You doubt it? Look at Zamzam. No, it's not enough. Ibrahim then was told in Ayyam al-Tashriq, that is the 7th of Zul Hijjah, Jibreel alayhi salam comes to him. He says, now you have to go to Arafah. Why me? But I'm the guest of God. Yes, the guest of God are different levels. You're still in a lower level. I want to take you to a higher level. But to reach that higher level, there is some extra struggle to be done. Twende pamoja Arafat. Sasa Arafat ndo wapi? I'm inside Mecca. I'm near Masjid al-Haram. I'm doing tawaf. Achia kila kitu. But you allowed me to take off ihram. No. Sasa wewe ni mgeni mpya. Twende nje. Out of Mecca. Out of Mina, out of Muzdalifah, mpaka mwisho kule Arafat. Arafat is the border of the Haram. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu that is the door of the Haram. Gonga mlango sasa. Ukiruhusiwa uingie. Vipi? Dua. Oh Allah, increase my ma'rifah. Oh Allah, accept my sins and forgive them. Oh Allah, I admit I've made mistakes. Even a person like Ibrahim and all the other messengers who came there, they made dua there. After the dua is accepted and the person breaks down and the person feels lowly and humbly and breaks down into tears, that means umekaribishwa. Sasa ingia. So you move from Arafah to Muzdalifah. Stop. But I want to go to Mina on the day of Eid. No, stop. Muzdalifah is the second door. Second door, inner chamber. Knock again. How so? فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. Engage now in the dhikr of God, in the blessings of God, in the different, from the beginning of life to now, present time. Look at the different blessings of God. Not only physical blessings, look at the spiritual blessings. Who are the spiritual leaders Allah has granted you with? Remember Him, thank Him. After that, basi tayari, nimeshaingia. I want to come for ziyarah to tawaf. No, wait. There are some enemies you have to fight. These enemies, if you don't remove them from your path, they will mislead you. Ndo nani sasa? Shaitani. Before you reach tawaf ziyarah, you have to go for Ramyi Jamaratil Kubra. Why so? Because, come back to the story of Ibrahim and Ismail having to slaughter. So, remember, Ibrahim a.s. is going for Qurbani. But before you go to Qurbani, you have to do the Ramya. If you don't do Ramya, you go to Qurbani batil. Tayari hija yako umeshapoteza. You must get rid of shaitan before the Qurbani. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu Ismail a.s. when he was told by Ibrahim, jitayarishe sasa na kuchinja. Mzee, akili yako ni sawa? Unataka kunichinja? Mzee, unasema ni ndoto. Sasa labda shetani amekutia mawazo. Mzee, Sawa ndoto possible, it is true, lakini what sort of God is this who is asking you to slaughter? Okay, you are a good person, sawa, the dream is true, lakini labda is mustahab mzee, sio wajib bwana. I've seen the dream again and again, I'm sure it is true. Mzee, inawezekana, unajua namaz, ada, maghrib, qaza is at midnight. Mzee, sio kesho basi, nzio leo unichinje, subiri. Shaitani, he comes in different ways. He puts doubt, shakes you till finally you stop. You must get rid of any force and thought and feeling and distraction which can take you away from God. That shaitan has to be fought. Tayari umeshampiga shaitani, now you come for the qurbani. At that qurbani mustahab, to say that same dua which Ibrahim is quoted in the Quran, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِي لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ حَنِيفًا وَمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. O Lord, the whole of my being I devote to you and you alone. Whatever I have is from you. You are the one who split me from nothing. Nothingness was split, I came into being. You are the one who gave me all the blessings. The heavens and the earth were created to provide blessings. Oh Allah, you split my heart, you put belief in me. You split my heart, you put your love for you. And therefore, what is this animal? What is this money? What is this possessions you give me? No, they will not come between me and your love. I'm ready to split away from it, give it back to you in your way. Qurbani. Tayari, sawa, navua ihram, nakimbia Makkah. No, wait, there's something more. After Rami and Qurbani, there's something more. Shave your head. Oh, sasa me, all these different hairstyles have been developed. No, that last vestige of self-conceit. Me, I'm something. No, remove that. Ukija mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu, you have nothing. Sasa haji, tayari, njoo. Sasa we tayari. You have removed the external enemy. You have removed that internal enemy of greed and selfishness. That little self-pride that you have, that also you remove. Now you're a total servant of God. Sasa karibu. Now you come for tawaful ziyarah. Conclusion. Allah has given us great ni'mah in that we've been given living spiritual guides who we have asked to follow practically. And Hajj, there's one amazing ayah in the Quran, in Surah Mubarak al-Baqarah, at the end of the description of the building of the Kaaba and the dua which Ibrahim a.s. makes. وَمَنْ يَرْغَبْ عَنْ مِلَّةِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Who is it who will turn away from this creed and faith and religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam, of tawheed, of loving the true absolute power? You know who will turn away? إِلَّا مَنْ سَفِهَ نَفْسَهُ. Gelsafo. I don't know where this word Gelsafo has come, but Safiha is an Arabic word. You are foolish if you are rejecting the wisdom which God has sent and proven practically through Ibrahim. The whole of human civilization, Middle East, and then the rest of the human civilization was influenced by what Ibrahim a.s. did. You are a fool if you leave that. وَلَقَدْ اصْطَفَيْنَاهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. We chose him to be the leader for mankind. وَإِنَّهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ لَمِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. May Allah make us amongst those who are the Salihin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.